Okay, this next assignment starts to use Excel to do some mathematical functions for us. So this will be called preview fx1, and that implies that there will be a preview fx2, and there will be. But just to get started, we're going to go up here to these 5 columns of numbers and look and see that there's a yellow box that says sum and a gray box excuse me, it says average. Now what we want to do is we want to sum these numbers, and one of the hardest things to kind of get your mind around is that we want to sum these cells. We don't really care what number is in those cells. So to do this, we're going to click where we want the answer. In this case, that's D7. And we're going to go up here in this box next to the FX. We don't want to click on the FX. We want to click next to it in this box. And we're saying that we want this cell that we clicked in, D7, to equal, so type an equal sign, and we want it to equal whatever is in D2 all the way through D6. We don't care what is actually in D2 through D6. We don't want to sum 3 plus 5 plus 2 plus 4 plus 6. We want to sum D2, so we're going to type D2, and then plus D3, and then plus D4 plus D5 plus D6. Okay, and then that will tell us what all those numbers add up to, but we don't really care what the numbers are as long as it's those particular cells. We hit enter, and that's 20. Okay, and the cool thing is, if you then change what's in this cell, right now it's a 3, let's say we change it to a 4, watch this answer down here, it automatically changes it. That's why we care more about summing the cells than summing 3 plus 5 plus 2 plus 4 plus 6. Alright, so once again, click on the next one. That's where we want our answer. We'll type equals, and we want F2 plus F3 plus F4 plus F5 plus F6. Hit enter, and it will tell us that it's 19. Okay, again, there's the answer. We're going to type equals. Instead of typing in the cell name, instead of typing in H2, you can click on H2, hit plus H3 plus H4. That's a little faster, and it still does it. Just make sure you don't have an extra plus sign at the end there. And it does it for you. And again, J2 plus J3 plus J4 plus J5 plus J6. And that's 287. So you can see that you can do this pretty quickly by just using the equal sign and go in L2 plus L3 plus L4 plus L5 plus L6. Oops, and an extra plus sign. And there you go. All right, so now we've found the sum for all those. And the other cool thing is, if you change one of these numbers in the cell, it doesn't matter. It will automatically change the sum because we said add this cell to this cell to this cell to this cell to this cell, not 132 plus 100. Okay, so you get my point. So now the average, we can figure that as well, because the average is simply the sum divided by how many digits did you add up. So we know that the average, we're going to type equals the sum right here divided by, and that's a slash, how many numbers did we add into the sum? Well, in this case, there's 5. So we're going to go D7 divided by 5, the average. Now, once again, if you change a number, it's going to change the sum, but it's also going to change the average. So if you change that number from a 3 to a 4, watch right here. It not only changes the sum, it changes the average. Boom. Okay, so you're saving yourself a lot of work, particularly if your data is going to possibly change. So once again, the average equals the sum divided by how many numbers you added in there. So we're going to go, that equals the sum, which in this case is found in F7, divided by how many numbers did you add in there? We added 5, so the average is 3.8. Once again, the average is going to equal the sum divided by, we added 5 numbers in there. So you can see that the process goes pretty quickly here. The average, the mathematical definition of the average is the sum, which we already found, divided by how many numbers you put into it, which is 5 in this case. Okay, and the last one the average equals the sum divided by how many numbers did you add in? Boom. Okay, so that's how you can make Excel do some math for you. Now this last thing down here, this is what people do, and this is really important to do. This is like if you have your bank account or your checkbook. Let's say you have a balance of $452.66. Okay, if you write a check or use your debit card for some cat food at the cat store, that money that you write the check for or that you take out of your account is going to come out of this balance. The balance is how much money you started with. Okay, so let's just make something up. Let's say that cat food is $32.88. Okay, now we need to know how much money we have left after we buy the cat food. So we're going to take what we started with, how much money we started with, minus how much money we spent. So our new balance is going to equal, look up here, it just did an equal sign. We don't want to say $452.66. We want to say whatever's in B14, and since we spent money, it's going to be minus whatever's in B15, and this will give us our new balance. Now we have, after we've bought cat food, we have $419.78. Okay, now let's say that the dog is hungry too, and and dog food is $35.87. We need to subtract B17 from B16. So our new balance is going to equal, let's go, B16, how much we started with, minus how much did we spend, which is found in B17. Now we have $383.91. So this is how you keep track of how much money you have in your bank account or your savings account. Now, when you get a paycheck, that means you're adding money back into your account. Okay, so let's say you've got a paper route or something, and you made $246.55. You had $383.91, and you're adding this into it. So what you have now is going to equal, look up here, what you started with, which is B18, this time plus how much your paycheck was, and hit enter. Okay, so this is a great way to use Excel to do the math for you that keeps track of your bank account and your savings account. Save this as last name preview 1, the number 1. There will be a preview 2. We'll come up on that.